G'day folks, this is Tony Peacock here, and in this video I wanted to talk about what is Bitshares. Now, there's a lot of things happening in the world and there's a lot of changes happening, and one of those changes is cryptocurrency. As you know, a lot of governments around the world are operating on central banks. So there's a new technology that's kind of around. Probably you've heard the term Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is, it's kind of like a currency. And of course, no one ever thought it was going to kind of take off. And over the last 6 years, it's really gone up in value. I mean, right now, I think you can buy one Bitcoin for $2,300 US. It's even gone up as much as $3,000. Okay. Now, there are some problems with Bitcoin in that it's a business, basically, and it has miners. And miners are people who have a computer or a bunch of computers, and they verify that a transaction actually took place. So if I send some Bitcoin to you, then there's all these people out there that will actually verify that that transaction actually took place. So that makes it uncorruptible. It means, this whole system means that it's not possible for fraud. Okay, and it's decentralized, so governments can't get their sticky little fingers on it. Third parties can't, manipulate it or take your money away. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, I have a PayPal account, and I was doing business, and PayPal, for whatever reason, decided they didn't like me, and so they just froze my account with thousands of dollars in it. And now I've got to wait 6 months to even get my money. Okay, so that's one of the advantages of Bitcoin, is be able to send value, to send payment to another person anywhere in the world that also has, a wallet, so that you can receive payment. Okay. I'm trying to keep it very simple. I'm still learning about everything myself, and a lot of the words are very technical. So I'm trying to kind of keep it simple and dumb it down a little bit. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, so I'm still learning about this every day. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to explain more about what Bitshares is. And the reason why I'm telling you about Bitcoin is because Bitcoin has problems, and that's why Bitshares was kind of created back in 2014. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen with you and actually, go over some information, show you a video from Daniel Larimer, who's actually the founder of Bitshares. So just give me 1 sec. I'm just going to share my screen here. Okay, and just reduce this down. So now here's Daniel here, and he's actually at a conference. So I'm just going to play this video so you can hear what he says.
We've actually solved one of the single biggest issues in the cryptocurrency space, which is how do you create something that has all the properties of Bitcoin: private, secure, transparent, but the price stability of the dollar. And we've done that with all of our Bitshares products. They all have BitUSD, BitGold, BitSilver. But perhaps what's even more exciting is that you can earn interest on your dollars, or we call it yield, but it has the effect of a positive rate of return on your dollars. It's better than what you can get in your bank account. So this is a 200 to 300% backed currency. It's backed by crypto. If you want to talk about the core technology, that's what we are changing the perspective. We're helping educate Bitcoin users how to understand Bitcoin as a company, a company that's losing $500 million a year, and instead trying to create profitable versions of Bitcoin, taking Bitcoin and making it profitable.
Cool. Well, thank
So there you go. So now I've created a mobile-friendly website, which you can see at bankofbitshares.com. And so I've got an infographic here, which kind of goes over visually some of the aspects of Bitshares. So as it says here, Bitshares is a decentralized network. So what that means is that it's operated by those who participate in it. There's no single government or company that actually controls it. Okay, so that's pretty important. Now we have what's called digital tokens. So as it says here, Bitshares has digital tokens. These have the properties of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but maintain a stable value and can be used as a medium of exchange. In other words, like money. So you've got Bitshares, which is otherwise called BTS, and there's these BitAssets. So BitUSD, BitEuro, BitYuan, like the Chinese yuan or yuan, I think it's called, BitGold, BitSilver. Okay, so now the BitAssets are market pegged to currencies and other assets. So what that means is that 1 BitUSD is actually equal to $1, and 1 BitEuro is equal to €1, and 1 Bit CNY is equal to 1 Chinese yuan, I think it is. 1 bit gold is equal to 1 ounce of gold. 1 bit silver is equal to 1 ounce of silver. Okay. So unlike other cryptocurrencies, BitAssets are less volatile. So 1 bit USD always equals $1. All right. BitAssets can be sent around the world for minuscule fees. Okay, so for example, if you were to send a money transfer with Western Union, you'd pay a $12 fee and it would take up to 3 days. If you went to your local bank, you'd probably pay a $45 fee, and again, it would take 2 to 3 business days. With Bitshares, it's less than 5 cents and it's instant. Okay, and when you think about it, that's pretty interesting. I mean, we live in a world now where I can send you an SMS and basically you get it straight away. I can send you an email and pretty much you can send it straight away. But if I want to send you money via a bank or something like that, it takes 3 days. So the whole financial system is in the dark ages, and it's obviously designed that way because the powers that be make a lot of money. Now, so you don't need a bank account. All you do is you basically download, well, it's kind of like a wallet and an exchange in one. So if you come to this website, bankofbitshares.com, you would click on here and go to the online exchange. Okay, so that's what I'll do just to show you what it looks like. So you've got this online exchange called OpenLedger, and this is kind of like the exchange that Bitshares operates on. And so you would come here and you would come here and you would create an account. Now, what I did is I actually used the account model. So that means that I can log in from anywhere in the world. And I just need a very, very good password, like a 40-character password to prevent someone from, I mean, it says ideally 20 plus, I have a 40-character password, which means it's unlikely to get hacked. Okay, so as it says here, the OpenLedger decentralized exchange. And so this is where, you know, you would do all of the stuff that you need to do. And where you get, you know, the different currencies you can trade and that sort of thing. But I don't want to get into that at the moment. I just wanted to show you that this is where you would come. Okay, so now, so let's have an example here. Jack sends BitUSD to Jill, and he does that via the online exchange. Jack requests his account to be 1,000 BitUSD and Jill's to be, minus 1,000 and Jill's to be plus 1,000. So the transaction is cryptographically signed by Jack. The transaction is broadcast to the Bitshares network, where it is confirmed by a randomly assigned delegate. The transaction is added to a ledger, okay, which we call a blockchain, and the ledger is updated across the entire Bitshares network. So everyone in the network has the same copy of the ledger that includes Jack's transaction, okay, this is what makes it safe. This is what makes it transparent. This is what makes it incorruptible. Okay, now the blockchain is a ledger of transactions. It is a permanent shared digital history that cannot be altered or deleted. It's a revolutionary technology pioneered by Satoshi Nakamoto, who's the original creator of Bitcoin. So how it works: every 10 seconds, transactions are sent to a randomly selected delegate. The delegate confirms the transactions and packages them into a secure block. Okay, now in Bitshares, there's 101 delegates. The block is validated by the other 100 delegates and digitally chained to all previous Bitshares transactions. Okay, so here it is here, and then you've got these change of transactions. So if this transaction took place in this middle here, well, of course, then there's all these other transactions that have since taken place, so you can't alter this one back here. And this is the problem with, you know, books like with cash flow and Quicken and all of that kind of stuff, these double ledger entry things, they can all be altered. They can all be changed. They can have hidden information, or people can make a mistake. So this chain here, this blockchain, this is a continuously expanding ledger. It is secure because it is signed, confirmed by an authority, which is the delegates. It is consistent because there's only one valid blockchain that is shared. It is representative because the delegates are elected by Bitshares shareholders. Okay, so the delegates do the work, building and maintaining Bitshares as a company. Okay, so there's 101 participants of Bitshares who are voted in as delegates. And with those votes, those with the most votes receive a delegate position. Okay, now the way Bitshares works is different to Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually has miners, okay? But those miners need to be paid, and so you have about 3 massive mining operations that have, you know, set up factories of computers mining Bitcoin, and of course they're taking a lot of this Bitcoin and they're reselling it back on the open market. But Bitcoin as a business is losing $500 million a year as a business by paying all of these miners, whereas Bitshares doesn't actually have that problem. So Bitshares is actually a very profitable company, even though there's no CEO. It's, you know, I'm a member of Bitshares. Other people are members of Bitshares, and we all own Bitshares. So that's why no government can close it down. It's basically like a sovereign software company, you see. So so the delegates' responsibility. So their job is to package transactions into blocks and validate them, maintain a consistent blockchain and verify every other delegate's blocks for consistency, publish price feeds, provide a random number in each block, and improve the ecosystem. Delegates are paid by the blockchain. For most delegates, the pay rate is to cover costs of running a block producing server. So they get 3% of 50 bits currently paid out per validated block. So delegates can campaign for a higher pay rate. Employment is a democratic process. So the board of directors, CEOs, CTOs, marketing team, etc., are all elected by the Bitshares community and are all on a paid by protocol. So I know it says here CEOs, board of directors. So it's kind of like a company, but there is actually no CEO. Okay, so delegates are held accountable to Bitshares shareholders and other delegates through published statistics, news of their marketing and other events. If a delegate misbehaves or fails to deliver, he or she is quickly voted out by shareholders. The Bitshares network uses a delegate proof of stake system to ensure security. So a delegate proof of stake is a mechanism to achieve consensus about the content of the database. So in this case, we're talking about account balances, account names, etc. Bitshares and other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin use similar blockchain technology, which addresses how consensus is distributed so everyone has the same data. However, there is a difference between consensus, on how the consensus is achieved. So Bitshares uses a delegated proof of stake, whereas Bitcoin uses proof of work. So Bitshares has delegates who are voted in and they essentially work for the blockchain, and miners pool together to increase the chance to be rewarded. Okay, and that's why there's 3 massive mining operations which basically have, factories of servers. So here the reward is shared by the delegates, whereas in Bitcoin, the reward corresponds to the percentage of total mining hash power one has. So the bigger the computer system, the more hash power you have, the more Bitcoin you get. So delegates are people that are paid for maintaining and improving the system. Miners use powerful computing equipment to mine. Now, mining is not as in, like mining like, picks and shovels, that type of thing. We're talking about mining as in computing power, and these computers are kind of like mining operations that actually verify and confirm that transactions took place. Okay, so as it says here, reward is looped back into Bitshares to enrich the environment, and miners use a portion of the reward to pay for equipment and resource they use. Right, like they have huge electricity bills. So anyway, you can come here to this site and have a look at this infographic yourself. There's a lot of technical stuff here to explain to more the geeks what it is, but I find it very interesting. Again, I'm still trying to get my head around it all, because it is a new thing. But now I'll just come over here. So here's an article that Daniel Larimer actually wrote to help describe what Bitshares actually is. So now he says Bitshares is a software, Bitshares is a network, Bitshares is a ledger, Bitshares is a company, Bitshares is an exchange, Bitshares is a bank, Bitshares is a currency, Bitshares is a community, and Bitshares is a country. So yeah, this is why you really need to look at this, because Bitshares is unlike anything that I've seen. I mean, most of the coins that are out there, people are trading them and they go up and they go down and they're volatile. But Bitshares is actually a sovereign software company. Okay, it's basically like a decentralized bank. Okay, so in fact, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here 1 second. You should have me back, I think. Now, yeah, okay. So this is what excites me about Bitshares. If I had 100,000 and I go and put that into the bank, basically I'm losing money every year by depositing money into my bank. Okay. But if I took that same 100,000 and put it into Bitshares, well, now I can actually go and buy some BitUSD or some Bit Gold or something like that, and I have to have twice as much Bitshares available, which will be used as collateral, like it's a minimum of 200%, okay? So twice as much. But essentially, I can take my money, put it into Bitshares, and now I can go and get a loan and not even pay any interest on it, and then go and use that and spend it, okay? So I've more or less created my own personal bank. I can then lend myself money interest-free, and as long as Bitshares keeps going up in value as more and more people buy Bitshares, my value of my Bitshares is going to go up. So in 5 or 10 years' time, I can pay back the loan that I took out of the profits that I made, and it was all interest-free. I mean, that is amazing. That is an amazing concept. And, you know, the bubble for the fiat currency, you know, is basically like the paper money, and it's not backed by anything. I mean, you know, like you've got the Fed in America, and they took away basically they took, it was, you know, the US dollar is supposed to be backed by gold and silver, but they took all that away. And so now they just print money that's backed by nothing. And that debt is just going up and up and up and up, and sooner or later the bubble's going to burst. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't already. Sooner or later it's going to burst. So you need to be thinking about, well, what happens when that happens? What's going to happen to your money? Okay. Now, there's some interesting things that are coming out. There's a new coin that's coming out. It's called the Hero, and basically it will appreciate in value by 5% per annum. So that means that mums and dads and people that would normally put money into the bank can actually buy a Hero, and it's called a Hero for a very specific reason, honest money for heroic enterprises. And now they can earn 5% per year instead of losing 5% per year. Okay, and when they get a Hero, it's actually backed by Bitshares. So all of us people that are buying Bitshares, we're actually guaranteeing this Hero. So the people that buy a Hero are never going to lose money. They can't lose it. Okay. So anyway, I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I'm sharing to you kind of like my excitement about why I'm in Bitshares. And so if you want to get more information, I've got a link to the mobile-friendly website in the description there, and I'll also put a link to the video about the Hero and the $1 Billion Challenge. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I'm not a master at this yet, but I want to start making more and more videos because I want to kind of help educate the average Joe on why he needs to get Bitshares. Okay, this is why you need to get them, because if the dollar crashes, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle. Anyway, my name's Tony. Have a great day. If you like the video, give it a like, give it a share, leave a comment or something like that, and I'll see you in the next video.